Oh, I got stuck on repeat. I got stuck on loop. Anyways, welcome to the Bearded Fireflies Wrestling Podcast. Today is March 23rd, 2024, the year of our Lord. The year of the dragon, not the American dragon. And the year of the boy that lives in jungles. We are speaking on good old Jungle Boy.
Rio Glass, Crimea River.
Yes. Yes. Anyways, I'm your host, your co-host, Sean. We got Chris. We got JR. Good old JR. What's up, JR?
What's going on? What's going on? It's good.
What
It's
up,
good.
man?
Not much, man. Not much, man. We had a little bit of a snowfall yesterday, but now it's bright and sunny here in good old Toronto. So all good though.
Bro, give us some of that cool weather down here. I'm tired of the temperature change.
Bro, it's raining over here. It's
You
raining.
know what's really funny is it was cool and rainy this morning, and it's like 80, 90 degrees right now. It's so ridiculous.
Oh, there you go.
George, good afternoon. Good afternoon. So before we get into the show, before we talk about some of the weird stuff and great stuff that's been happening in the world of wrestling,
Yeah.
I'd like to ask our guest, JR, how's your week?
Week's been good. Week's been good. I took a week off last week to kind of rest the body. Then because of the fact that I had 6 weeks vacation, so figured I'd take some advantage of it. And yeah, just got back into work this week. But for the most part, it's been pretty steady, I would say. Not too bad,
Sick,
you know.
sick nasty,
Yeah.
sick,
Good, man.
sick nasty. Chris,
Mhm.
how's your week?
Week was okay. Yeah, we don't need to go into all that, but
Mhm.
week was all right. Wrestling's helped.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, my week's been all right, man. My week's been all right. I watched Roadhouse the other night, the new one. Well, actually, both of them, because I'd never seen Roadhouse.
Oh,
I didn't know Sam Elliott's sexy ass was in it. Younger Sam Elliott. Pause. All right. And then the new Roadhouse had Conor McGregor, Jake Gyllenhaal. I didn't know how jacked Jake Gyllenhaal is.
Also, pause.
Yeah. You know what? Hey. I'm a man. I'm comfortable with my sexuality, and
I am too, brother.
I
You
can
ain't
say
gonna catch me saying none of that.
I can say when, like, I'm comfortable with my sexuality, and I know when a fucking chiseled marble of a human being steps on my TV. Jake Gyllenhaal, Conor McGregor, absolutely chiseled. Anyways, we're gonna get off this. I don't want to scare anybody away. With
Also, pause.
Yes. I don't want to scare anybody away with my weird conversations I'll be having with myself and other people. Yeah, dude, wrestling. This week in wrestling has been pretty solid.
It was. It's
Yeah.
very solid. 3 solid shows in a row for WWE. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and we had the Big Bang, I mean Big Business that happened last week. And the blunder that happened there.
Sheesh.
We're gonna start this thing off right, and we have to start this thing off right.
We have
We
to.
have to.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead. Chris, would you like, and JR, you can comment too. Would you like to give us our fucking first F-bomb of the week?
You damn right I do. I think it needs to be said. I said it before she debuted, and I will say it since she debuted. Sasha Banks is a draw in WWE. Mercedes Monopoly Forehead Monet is not a draw. Even with the big gangbang theory being the lead-in, she's still not a draw. And she really, really exposed herself, no pun intended, to her promo skills this past week. Because I was driving, and it happened to be a Wednesday. I think it was on the way home from the pier or something. I'm like, you know what? I'm sure Forehead's going to kick off the show, so let me hear what she's going to say.
My condolences on that.
One of
Wasting your
the
time on
worst.
Hanoi. Oh my god.
One of the worst promos I've ever heard in my entire life. And
Oh
I've been
my
watching wrestling since I was 7. So let that sink in. There's been a lot of bad promos. I would
Wow.
rather listen to Marina Chauffeur, however the hell you say her last name, do another promo saying that you know her, but we don't know her, than ever hear Monet talk again.
Or hear a Von Wagner 30-minute promo.
Oh, dude, at least Von Wagner can make it entertaining. He can do
That's
30
true.
minutes of Come Tuesdays.
I'm gonna come Tuesday.
You know, it's even more insulting than the fact that it was happened in my hometown. That promo in Toronto, in the same stadium that I went to a house show back in December, where they literally went over capacity for that, and they only
Right.
could sell like 6,000 there in the Coca-Cola Center because it's
But it was
basically the
sold out,
minor
right?
league. It was sold out. Well, sold out.
Like All In was.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
But she cannot cut a promo to save her life.
Oh my.
It was
God.
really bad.
Was that bad? Wow.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. You know,
God bless you.
I seen highlights of it. I already am missing brain cells, right? So I just didn't need more pulled out of me.
You know.
And
So let me summarize how bad this promo was. So she starts off by saying that she's not in AEW to lead a women's evolution. She already did that. She's here to lead the first ever women's global revolution.
It's the same thing.
It's just stupid.
Did we not just have a PLE in Australia with 2 women main eventing? I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh God. You know, I'm happy I didn't. You know, I like bumper cars, but I don't like bumper boats. Okay, and that
I got
should
better things to do on a
She
Wednesday.
was neither one of those. She was a bumper forehead in that one.
Oh,
Yeah. Bumper forehead. Yeah, I
Uh,
was watching Roadhouse when it happened. Well, no, that was wrong.
no.
That was last week. Anyways, yeah, dude, total flop. Chris, you
Twice.
pulled up twice. You pulled up the ratings and like by segment ratings, and they started low and then they just kept
I
going low.
have never in my entire life seen a show free fall like that. Like Tony literally conned everybody. No pun intended to his last name, but he's a con. I've never seen people collectively tune out after a promo, much like that. Like it was embarrassing.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and it's sad because you had segments with Adam Copeland on it, which I mean, I hold a special place in my heart for Adam Copeland Edge.
Oh, see, that was this week. I'm talking about when she debuted.
Well, yeah, he had a match last week, if I'm not wrong.
Did he?
But yeah, I think so. It's where Christian interfered and he showed him fucking Spike,
That was
whatever
this week.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Rampage, whatever. No, because he won the TNT Championship this week
Oh,
from
Oh, yeah.
Christian.
Okay.
Emo Edge, or Emo Copeland, where you had the black
God
eye.
almighty.
Yeah,
Okay.
Somebody pulled up the stats of every age that that's holding a title besides Joe, and almost everybody's over the age of 50.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, they're
Let that sink in.
WCW. They're WCW 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, before we get into the weekly WWE shows, because this is, dude, let me tell you, I'm just gonna say it's like The Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth. That feud is on fucking fire last week. You know, since it started, and I know
Yeah.
Chris and I don't know how you feel, Jr. I know Chris and I, we were very skeptical of it because it had The Rock in it, right? And we don't want to see, The Rock in any program of any
I still
capacity
don't.
for the title. Yeah, we still don't. What I am, right? I'm very fucking sports entertained. I'm gonna say that I'm very sports entertained. The Rock put out, a few promos on Instagram, and dude, these promos have, in my opinion, my honest opinion, his promos have taken the feud from stoking the flames, right, to we're burning a goddamn house down. I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know how you feel about it.
I'll let JR go first.
Oh no, you go first. I got to gather my thoughts on that. Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I feel they could have done the same thing without Rock. Much like Cody's promo this past Monday, where he's like, Lord knows that we need to fill the house because they're struggling when they're not. My biggest gripe since Rock has come back has been Seth and Cody have not been given very many opportunities to respond. And this past Monday was the most Cody has gotten a word in on. And I feel when Paul Heyman came in, I feel like that part should have been a backstage segment. But I feel like anytime Cody attempts to cook, essentially, to use an IWC dumbass term, when he attempts to cook, the bloodline somehow fucks it up. And I understand they're the disruptors, and I get it. But, like, Cody and Seth have not been given opportunities to really respond. And it's taking me out of it. It's making me want WrestleMania to just hurry up and get here so we can get it over with.
Okay. JR, what you got?
So, I mean, I see your point on the fact that it seems like Rock is taking a lot of the spotlight off of Cody and Seth for the most part. But to me, this week, it seems like the momentum has risen up even further now. With everything that Cody said, and then that promo, which they say was underwhelming on SmackDown, but I thought it was great. Personally, it was straight to the point. And then that final shot there at the end of SmackDown, which we'll get into after, it just makes it feel a lot more like a cinematic event that's going to happen at WrestleMania, because someone's going to leave unhappy and someone is going to leave with like a hero's welcome for the most part. So, I mean, I'm thoroughly more invested now than I've ever been. So it's looking good. It's looking really good heading into Mania.
I think, and I said this last night after the end of SmackDown, is if you do every segment go, then when the match comes, everybody's expectations are through the roof. And then when it doesn't live up, look at the Bloodline rules. The Tribal Combat, I think, is the best example of that. People were thinking that it was going to be this bloodbath and we were going to get an Umaga type like massacre on Roman and Jay, and then people bitched about it after the match was over. I'm like, what did you guys think this match was going to be? Like, and that's where I'm kind of at with Cody and Roman. It's like that tag match, I hate that it's happening. I really do. Just for the simple fact that if Seth loses, it only makes it worse. If Cody loses, he can afford the loss.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like, okay, how is night 2 going to play out?
Yeah. I seen somebody online point out a few different ideas, like pitch them. Seth purposely loses the match on night 1, and it ends up going to tribal combat or bloodline rules. Where he purposely loses just because like he's like, I got a match tomorrow, right? And then Seth and Cody have a history, right?
Yep.
Second is somebody takes Cody out or Seth out backstage, right? And I think we've seen this at one of the WrestleManias. Either Cody goes in 2-on-1 handicap match, which is where he loses, or he gets another partner. It just so happens. I mean, who is the next person in line that's another big name that people might want to see? Austin, right? Stone Cold. I don't see that happening. I don't see that second one happening. I see him going more along the lines of 2-on-1.
So let me ask you something about the Austin thing. Do you think that would feel too forced? Because I feel like that'd be mega forced.
It would be. I mean, I think it could be, but I mean, it's main eventing.
And I love Austin. Austin is my favorite over The Rock any day of the week.
Yeah.
But I just don't really see that being a good idea.
I mean, it could be one of those deals where, like, prior to the pay-per-view even starting, like WrestleMania starting, Seth gets taken out backstage, right? To the point where they say, hey, we got to take him to the hospital, right? Play it out like that. And then Cody's like, Nick Aldis or whoever the fuck is like, hey, you need to find a tag team partner. If you can't, it's going to be a forfeit, or you're going to fight handicap. And he's kind of like looking around, and kind of like Cena did at WrestleMania with Undertaker, right? Where he was out in the crowd and he was begging for Undertaker, even though we got a squash match, which is not what any of us wanted, I don't think. But it could be one of those deals where Cody's like, I'm all out of options, man. And he just walks out to the ring. He stands there. And right before the bell's going to ring, and like Roman and Rock are fucking smiling because they know what's about to happen. Austin's music hits. Could be completely unexpected. Could have the feeling of being forced. But I think that it's something unexpected. We expect it to happen, right? But it's in a way unexpected. Your casual fan won't really think that way.
Right. And, I don't think – I think Cena would be a pretty cool option too. I mean, I don't really see that happening.
Cena would be a good option too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got two generational baby faces. And, I think Cena is at the point of his career where – it's okay that he shows up every once in a while kind of thing. And he put over Solo the last time he was there. So Cena taking the pin doesn't hurt anybody.
No. Yeah. I agree. I think that either way they do it, I think what WWE is doing right now with that storyline, and we'll go into a little bit more, is absolutely fucking astounding. So we'll go out, we'll go off and start on Monday Night Raw, man. Opening segment, Jey Uso calls Jimmy Uso out for a match at Mania, which I'm pretty sure we all knew was going to happen. Thank God. Considering everything that's happened since SummerSlam to now, right? With Jimmy getting involved periodically. Jay just kind of walking the fuck out, and there was no resolution, right? Like
ooses.
Yeah. Chris and I talked and said there's no resolution happening here. Like, where is the payoff? And the payoff's going to come at Mania. And I think this has the possibility of elevating Jay past being over to being that John Cena megastar.
We have
question. Oh yeah. So question. Here's more. The big question is this opening night 1 or night 2? And second question, does Jay go over, or do you have Jimmy win dirty in this?
That's a good question, Chris. What you got?
I think Jimmy would benefit more from a win than Jay would. Jay is already massively over. And there's still little trickles of Bloodline story they could still tell. We got a taste of that at the Rumble. And when I tell you that crowd went ape shit when Jimmy and Jay came out for 1 and 2, bro, I'm telling you right now, I think those two are going to surprise everybody in that match. I really do. Because people are like, oh, it's just going to be super kicks, a hip attack, and a splash. I'm like, bro, like, I don't think you guys realize like how special having twin brothers, wrestle each other is going to be.
This is the first time ever. This is like the first time I've ever seen it. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. It really is going to be amazing.
Honestly, I'd like to see Jay go over. I either way we win.
I agree. But if we're thinking logically, I think Jimmy would benefit a lot more.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you can honestly, it's a hard question, but you're right. You can go either way with this one because it's like
that segment when they had their face to face finally, when Jimmy's like, "You left me. I've always been here." I'm like, "Damn!" Like people are bitching about the build on this. I'm like, "Dog, they've been writing this shit for 4 years.
Look, man,
what more do they need to build?"
And I think that they could add another layer to it, right? Because they're talking about how the Bloodline story's, not over yet. Like it's just not going to be over for a while. You can add another layer into that, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can add a layer where the ref, and we hate ref bumps, right? We fucking hate them. But this is where I feel like it should happen. Ref bumps, right? Solo comes in the ring and he starts beating the piss out of Jay. Rikishi comes out. Dad, right? Dad comes out and he breaks all of them up, puts them in the corner. Yeah. Super kicks fucking Jay. How would you feel about that? Or super kicks Jimmy.
Jimmy.
I did,
Yeah,
I
it
did
doesn't
it for the Rock. I did it for the Rock.
I did it for our people.
So if Rikishi is involved in this in any way, and I really hope Triple H pulls the strings for that to happen because that'd be really cool. I don't want to see him pick a twin. I really don't. I want to
I
see
would like-
Solo being the determining factor there. Solo's the baby brother. Solo has already taken out Jay before.
Yeah.
So what if Solo turns on Jimmy? You get a babyface Solo, like we had in NXT. I mean, he was kind of like a tweener, but I think that Solo falling apart from the bloodline would help him a lot because I feel since Clash of the Castle, he has literally done nothing. And I love Solo, but that match with Cena, it wasn't bad. It served its purpose for Solo. But much like Austin Theory going over Cena, it more or less did nothing for either guy.
Okay, so we got another comment from good buddy of mine, Paul. He says they're gonna bring in the other brothers. You're gonna see War Games with Bloodline. The Usos will reunite at Mania and side with The Rock.
Oh, side with The Rock. Okay, so like over
Rock
Roman
against Roman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I could see it happening.
So
power struggle.
I think my only problem with that would be them having the one-on-one match. If that wasn't there, then I would be cool with them standing side by side again. But like them having a match kind of makes me not want to see that yet.
Maybe Mania next year. Have a
I
year
mean, we
of
got
power
Rock
struggle.
and Roman
There's a little-
possibly for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
I think that there's a bunch of different ways. I really think that this match has to have great camera work, right? Because us in the arena, we're gonna be able to see it, but people at home are not gonna be able to. It's gonna have to be one of those things where Solo has Jay by the throat, and he's got the spike up, and he goes to spike him, and you see a hand, and that hand is Rikishi.
Perfect.
And he stops him and he pushes him in the corner.
Bro, do like some like Logan Paul knocking out Randy Orton type shit.
Yeah. Paul says they'll have 2 matches. Saudi wants The Rock. I mean, that's money. Yeah. I mean, we could see what happens, man. But I think whatever happens in this bloodline, I think it should open night 1. To be honest, I think it should open night 1.
I agree.
Or open night 1. Or if you're gonna open night 1 with anything, the ladder match, the tag team ladder match, set the night.
I would
off
be
right.
surprised if they don't open with that, truthfully.
Yeah. Set the night off right. All right, so Bleacher Report gave it a B plus. I think it's garbage. It definitely was better than the B plus. So next we had Tommaso Ciampa, or we had DIY against the Creed brothers. And dude, let me tell you, man, like if
Creed
you
Brothers
don't
showed out.
God damn, Creed brothers show. Both teams really did. If I would say more the Creed brothers did. The Creed brothers showed the fuck out. If you're not watching the weekly programming, you need to, right? Because like these two tag team wrestling is becoming relevant again in fucking WWE, and it's good to see, right? Just like women's wrestling, mid card wrestling, all the wrestling matters. So Paul says they need a manager. The Creeds, I think they have Ivy Nile, but I think that they need somebody like
They can I don't think they need a manager. They can both talk.
They're good talkers. They were good
not bad talkers at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, talking ones. Yeah.
If somebody needs a manager, it's DIY. Johnny can't cut a promo to save his goddamn life.
And Tommaso's just straight face.
And Tommaso is a better backstage promo guy than he is a in front of the crowd promo guy, unless he's a heel.
Yeah, definitely.
Throwing the chair.
Yeah. But we've seen DIY pick up the win over the Creed brothers. Now, do you think that was the right call?
100%.
Yeah.
The Creed brothers are not ready for a Mania spot.
Exactly. I'm perfectly fine with DIY being in WrestleMania. That's not an issue there.
This is the way that I look at it. Johnny and Ciampa have both jobbed as solo guys and jobbed as tag team guys. They have put in their time. I mean, it's not a weird team if you watched NXT. DIY has been a thing in NXT forever. I think their dynamic is great, but I don't think the Creed brothers are ready for a spot that big.
Not yet. No. Maybe
I
in about maybe a year or two. Maybe.
Yeah, like maybe
Possibly.
next year or something.
Yeah.
I would. I'm going to side with Paul on this one. I think Tommaso sucks as a face.
I don't disagree, but I don't
Yeah.
think they're a weird team.
I think it's a weird team just because they've aged a little bit, right? Like when they were in NXT, and right after the Cruiserweight Classic, right, and they started teaming up. That was prime DIY, right? That was prime, like they can do no wrong. That was them versus AOP. That was them versus the Revival. Them versus American Alpha, right? Great matches. Probably some of the best tag team matches of all time in NXT. But right, like as soon as they broke up, in my opinion, I feel like they should have stayed broken up. It was cool to get a reunion on Raw, right? Or cool to see them as a tag team, right? But like Tommaso, in my opinion, is a cemented heel. Like that man should stay a career heel, right? Because that's where he makes his money. That's where he's most credible. Johnny can flip it in between.
See, here's my thoughts on DIY as a team. You got to remember when they got unified. This is when Triple H is trying to reform a tag division. This is Triple H trying to clean up the mess that Vince McMahon had created, and that goes for the women's division. That goes for the mid card division. Everything outside of the main event was dog shit. I mean, the Judgment Day is arguably one of the best factions that have been put together, like all talent minus JD, only because JD hasn't been given the opportunities to show he's worth more than what he's been given on TV. I think DIY so far has had their best matches with Creed Brothers, Imperium, and British Strong Style or whatever the hell they're called now.
Yeah.
New Catch Republic.
Yeah, New Catch Republic. And I think
Banana Republic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that with the tag team being reformed and Triple H trying to pair people together to see what works and what doesn't, it gives DIY an opportunity to see who they have chemistry with to help put over and or build up other teams around them. Do I think Ciampa's better as a heel? Absolutely. But you got to remember the differences between heel Ciampa on NXT and heel Ciampa on the main roster. They're not going to be the same at all.
No.
Because you have a different audience, and two, his promos back then were built for small ass arenas like Full Sail.
Yeah. Yeah. So Paul says the Creeds didn't need to win at Mania, but them showing out in the loss could make them. The Hardy spots in TLC are iconic. They lost both of them. I mean, he's not wrong.
Who are the Hardys?
Right. the Ultimate Deleted Brothers. All right. Anyways, solid match. I can't complain about it. It was great. The next match we had Katana Chance and Caden Carter, Boo, versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. And this is like cool. I like to see them, building on these heel characters. It's cool to see Candice as a heel breaking away from Johnny, away from the family, and then to see Indy kind of like stuck, like what the fuck, right? Like we don't have to be bitches about it. And Candice is like, no, fuck them. Fuck them damn kids. That's what she's saying. That's what she's really saying. Katana Chance had an injury to her knee, and Candice LeRae applied a submission for the win. It served its purpose. All right, so next we had Cody Rhodes responding to The Rock. Cody, God, that fucking promo, man. That promo was fire. Absolutely.
I'm gonna say a hot take, and I'm sure everybody might disagree with me. I think this Cody promo was better than anything The Rock has done since he's been back. Because, and the only reason I say that, biased aside, is because I heard almost all the same shit that Rock is doing now 20 years ago. I don't need it again.
JR, you got feelings about that?
I'm sorry. On the sorry,
Cody
can I-
promo.
Cody and
Cody
Rock.
promo, I mean, he was just it was a solid promo. I mean, yeah, we were wondering how he was going to react, and he pretty much went straight to the point. Literally went to the throat for The Rock, and it's the tension's building there. So we're getting to that point where it's like they're gonna throw fists before Mania. I can imagine they're gonna throw fists before Mania, like April
Uh,
1st in Brooklyn. I would not be surprised if I see like a brawl that has everybody going like get out of here, break them, stop them, just
I
like
think
his
they need to do
old
like
wrestling
some similar
main event.
Brock and Cena type stuff.
Yeah, so it's like Triple H wants to protect his main event. He's gonna be like, get him out here, get him out here. Like everybody's like trying to stop him, and they're like,
The whole roster. Yeah.
yeah. It's like, oh my goodness, yeah.
so Paul says the fans still cheer The Rock too much for him to come off as a heel. Hell, he'll thank the crowd and say "I love you too." So I think the only reason why he did that was because they were in Memphis, and that's where he got to start. So technically, that's home for him.
Yep.
But I think, man, honestly, Chris, I agree with you, but I disagree as well. I think the promo that The Rock had, not, and we're not talking about the sing along promo because that's shit that we've seen, right?
That's
Like
what I'm
that,
talking about. Yeah.
the promo afterwards when he said, "I'm gonna get serious,"
Yeah.
and he went in and he talked about how he's gonna hand that fucking belt, that bloody weight belt, to Cody's mom. I felt that shit,
What
right?
can
I
I
was,
say except you're
yeah, yeah. He said, and then he
welcome?
said, yeah, he said, what can
Jeez.
I say except you're welcome, right? Like, this is a vicious Rock that I want to see, right? This is maybe corporate Rock, maybe like TKO Rock, whatever you want to call him. This is a different shade of the Rock that we haven't seen. We've seen some of the tactics and like techniques that he's used, right? But this is a more vicious, more brutal, uh, authoritarian Rock that I like. I like seeing it. But on the flip side of that, Cody absolutely cooked the Rock on fucking Raw,
Mhm.
and then
Yep.
and then he came out with the little dick syndrome, and that just over the top, right?
Dude, the LDS, I think, murdered The Rock. That was so good.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
was so good.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I am sports entertained. He said at WrestleMania, I think you're just Roman's side chick, right? And like just throwing out one liners, dude, like one liners left and right.
Can I just say, over the 4 years that Roman has walked in as a champion, this is the weakest I've ever seen him look.
Yes.
And even that promo this past last night, and even the Pat McAfee shit, like it's kind of like rinse and repeat with almost the same shit he keeps saying in every interview and every podcast he gets put on. I love Roman. I've been a Roman fan since he turned heel, and I think he was arguably the best character that WWE has. But that being said, since The Rock has been introduced, I don't know if it's done on purpose, but Roman doesn't feel important. You would think that The Rock is the champion.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it feels to me, in my opinion, when I look at the bloodline now, it feels like Roman is the head of a kiddie table and The Rock is the fucking real tribal chief, right? Um,
That
and
line
that's,
that Cody said, the final boss and tribal chief thing, I'm
yeah.
like, bro, I think he just kind of like put Roman in his place, like really heavy.
Yeah. Absolutely fire promos, absolutely fire fucking feud that's happening right now. I'm excited for Mania. So the next match we had was Ricochet and Dominic. Well, actually, rewind that back. Uh, fucking Paul Heyman comes down to the ring, invites Cody to SmackDown, and says the tribal chief said, and he's a man of his word, come alone, and he'll come alone, right? Like face to face. And we'll talk about what happened at SmackDown. But Cody agreed to come alone, but he also said that he's going to go Homelander and rip his fucking throat out. So I would love to see a Homelander heel Cody. I mean, to be honest, but
Even an aggressive baby face. Like I was saying this, I think Friday afternoon, where I said I don't think Cody ever needs to go heel.
no.
And you can have an aggressive baby face.
Yeah.
Cena proved you can stay a babyface.
Oh yeah.
Still annihilate people on that microphone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Paul says it seems like Roman will get frustrated with The Rock like he did with Sammy at the end, and then he'll make The Rock attack him at Mania. I mean, that could be it. So next we had Ricochet and Dominic Mysterio, man, and Dom continues to prove why he deserves to be on that fucking roster.
Can I just say this about Dom? I've been a really big advocate of Dom since he turned heel. Even before that, I was a really big fan of Dom. When he got his ass beat by Seth Rollins from the kendo sticks, I'm like, bro, I'm telling you right now, this kid's gonna be special. The pandemic went through. He was a babyface that people love to trash for whatever reason, and then he went heel, and every single person doubted Dom Mysterio. I said, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, this prison Mysterio gimmick is going to be the greatest thing that's ever happened to that kid. Oh, no, it's cringy. He's doing these backstage things of him going to prison for 3 hours and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, bro.
That's the point.
That's the point.
And what happened? He gets reactions louder than MJF and Roman Reigns combined.
When
in the history of ever has any Mysterio done that? Never.
When in the history has anybody ever been booed at their wedding?
Bro, that man is legendary.
Yeah.
Booed at the wedding, booed at their hometown.
So good.
Right.
Crazy.
So we seen Ricochet go over Dominic. Great match, phenomenal match. I was entertained. Yeah. What I don't know if you caught it or not, but Michael Cole said Ricochet is fast as a puma.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And that's a call out to Prince Puma.
Right.
So I mean, it's pretty cool that they're recognizing some of the other stuff that's happening and that has happened. I would like to see Ricochet maybe return to that character. I don't know.
I don't think it'll help him. To be honest.
No, it won't. Next, I mean, and on top of that, like, what happens with Ricochet now? He doesn't have a match at Mania.
No, he's going to be put in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Yeah, maybe they're gaslighting him to win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. Maybe. Yeah.
Next we had Sammy and Gunther have a contract signing. Before that, earlier in the night we seen Sammy walking down the hallway. He runs into Chad Gable, and he's trying to make Chad Gable feel better. Pretty much, Chad Gable's like, "You can't beat Gunther. You can't. You don't have it. You don't have the fucking cojones, right? Like, you don't have the balls to beat Gunther." And so they come out to do the contract signing. Gunther does the big dominant, you don't deserve to be in the ring with me. I think Sammy is the only person that stood up to him and didn't like fucking quiver, but he looked him in the eye and he said, do I look intimidated? Walked out of the ring. I like now Chris and JR, I don't know if you guys feel this way. I like it that they're not having a brawl out and nobody is touching each other for Gunther and Sammy.
You don't need to with those two. Yeah.
I feel this way with Triple H's booking, and I like it a lot. I like that he doesn't do Vince shit, because Vince would do all these brawls. Vince would have a million DQs and a million countouts and build up how he's going to build up. And I don't think there's a problem with that sometimes, because sometimes it calls for stuff like that. Like the brawl that they had with Taker and Brock was fantastic. The brawl they had with Brock and Cena, fantastic. But Vince did it so much that people just stopped caring because it just became a norm. Now that Triple H is not doing those things, people are bitching because it's not the WWE they've watched for the last 10, 15 years. Yeah. I'm going to say this about Sammy. I'm tired of Sammy, and that's a super unpopular opinion, I know. Okay. But he does nothing for me. He hasn't done anything for me since he's debuted on the main roster. I just don't care.
I enjoyed Sammy in the Bloodline. I enjoyed what happened afterwards, right?
The tag title match. Yep. Absolutely.
But he got thrown back into the mix of things as a single star, and it's like,
So here's my thing about that. So we were talking about DIY earlier, right? I feel the same way about KO and Sammy. KO has outgrown Sammy in so many different ways that when they put them together, I rolled my eyes because I'm like, I get it. They've been a tag team for 20 years, whatever. But like, out of every team, and I know Triple H was kind of rebuilding everything at the time, out of every team that beat the Usos, I would have never picked Sami and KO.
No. I mean, it kind of had to happen because of the payoff, but yeah, I get 100%. It. Paul says Gable gets inserted into this somehow. I like that. I think Chris and we were talking about that. Feels like Sami's heel turn is coming after a loss, and you keep Gunther strong by not taking the pin. Yeah, I like that. Nobody's touching anybody because of CM Punk's injury. I mean, that could be it. I mean, maybe, but
I don't think that's a factor.
But Punk got injured in the Rumble, so I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I think Gable gets inserted. They're putting Gable into this too much.
Yeah, because
I feel like Gable's face is popping up in places that it doesn't need to be if it's just between Gunther and Sami. Or maybe Gable comes in and fucking distracts Sami, and there's a heel turn for him. So who knows? Who knows what happens?
I would like to see a heel turn on Gable.
A heel turn on Gable?
I think that we get like a redemption arc for Gable. He takes that title off the Gunther eventually. But actually, instead of like a heel turn, again, aggressive babyface. I don't think there's anything wrong with an aggressive babyface. I actually prefer an aggressive babyface over a full-blown heel.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this comment. If anybody should beat Gunther, it should be Braun Breaker.
Then he's got to move to SmackDown then if that's the case.
Hard disagree.
Or, I mean...
okay, I'm going to say this about Braun. He has impressed me over the last couple months with Baron Corbin. Braun has changed my mind entirely about him when he turned heel and he tagged with Corbin. That being said, I don't like the rocket pushes. I hate that shit more than anything in the world. And it doesn't matter if it's Ronda Rousey. It doesn't matter if it's Brock Lesnar. I don't. Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to see a rocket push. I want to see Braun annihilate the roster.
Yeah.
And then earn an opportunity, not just because he's a Steiner, not just because he's got a 35-mile-per-hour fucking spear. Like, give me a reason why he should be in there other than he can do a spear.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's two contenders for that championship, and Gable's one of them, and Braun Breaker is the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I like Braun, but I think that if they're going to do anything, they need to do a draft again and draft people to a show where you can't jump back and forth between shows unless, and I'm saying unless you win the Rumble or unless you win Money in the Bank. That's it, right? I don't want to see.
I don't mind the back and forth on rosters thing.
I do because sometimes it gets like at one point I got confused. I'm like, well, what show is this person on? Because they're consistently on that show.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's okay. It's not really a big bother to me, to be honest.
It depends small nitpick. If they were doing like Raw Super Show and bullshit like that, then yeah, sure. I'd probably get annoyed with that easily. Yeah. But what they're doing right now with the rosters, I don't think is too much of a problem because I think it gives everybody an opportunity to work towards a goal. Like, for instance, the unified tag titles. Mm-hmm. I love that they can work both shows. Same with the women. I love that they can work both shows. In my opinion, Roman holding a singles title, he's the only one that hurt either show by having just that one title. Does Seth Rollins' title come off as a consolation prize? I can see that argument, but I don't feel that way.
This next comment. Ooh. Paul says, yeah, I hate rocket pushes too, but at this point, Gunther is becoming Brock. Someone has to beat him, and it's not like Gunther is world champion. He's got to take the next step. Look, I get it. I agree with him, and I think the point he's saying. I'm a little
confused on that take.
It's because remember when Brock had his monster heel push and he was just decimating everybody, right? Just left and right. That part aside. Every match, he was decimating people, right? And he would pick up the win. I think that's what Paul's alluding to is the fact that Gunther is now at this point where he has a record in the history
Right.
book.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he does something absolutely atrocious, he has a record or in the record books, right? As the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. Nobody can beat him. Now you have to bring somebody in to beat him, right? And then Gunther moves on to the world title. No rematches for the Intercontinental title. Go on to the world title, right? Because if we're going by stepping stones, right? The mid card title should be your stepping stone to the next to the next title, right? As far as like if we're going not stepping stone because that sounds bad, right? But if you have a mid card title and you make that title as prestigious as possible, your next shot should be a world heavyweight championship, right? You know, if we're looking at it, and I hate to bring this up, but a perfect example is fucking Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior was the Intercontinental Champion, right? He lost it, and then he stepped up to fight Hogan, and he won it. Right?
So okay, let me give you a counterpoint to that.
Mm-hmm.
When Cena was the U.S. champion,
Mm-hmm.
and he was doing the open challenges and stuff,
Yeah.
Cena is established enough to where he didn't need to move up to a championship match. Now Gunther, like you said, he's in the record book. He's held the title for as long as he has. Gunther is the first pro wrestler to hold a title that long and be as consistent as he has been, to where I don't even think if he drops the title, he necessarily needs to go to the world title picture. Because, okay, say he drops the title to Braun Breaker, right? So what do you do about Cody Rhodes winning a title? What do you do about Drew McIntyre possibly winning a title? It kind of counterbalances everything, because it's like Cody needs his redemption arc. Drew McIntyre needs that validation that he's worthy of being a champion.
Yeah.
Now, let's put Braun Breaker at WrestleMania instead of Sami Zayn against Gunther. And let's say he goes over. Gunther isn't just going to be interjected into a world title picture because, A, it hurts Cody and it hurts whoever is going to be the world heavyweight champion. Sure, do I think it'll be a great... Yeah, and I get that. Gunther's unstoppable, but right. you can't put Gunther in a world title picture that fast. And I truly think the IC title is almost, if not just as important as the world title is right now.
Mm-hmm.
JR?
No, nothing. I'm just I'm agreeing with that. Yeah.
Okay, so Luke, I flashed the comments. Luke said that Gunther's unstoppable. He likes to see him as Zayn win. I understand that. I think from my standpoint, like looking at Gunther, I don't think he needs to be interjected. I think he should win the Rumble next year.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I don't think you push him right into a title spot, right?
No, you don't have to.
No. I think that you have him keep the title, have the Intercontinental title, have him drop
it until SummerSlam.
Yeah, let him drop it. Let him drop it to Gable or somebody else, and then he moves on and looks forward. Right? They can even add him into a War Games match. Right? I'd love to see that. And then
because you haven't seen him in any gimmick matches, which is pretty freaking crazy.
It's actually crazy. Yeah, that's not I think about it. Yeah.
Oh,
and that's what I'm saying. I think he should win King of the Ring. And
they have a King of the Ring, so I don't think they're having a King of the Ring anytime soon.
See, okay, here's my problem with King of the Ring. I feel King of the Ring is such a gimmicky ass like tournament that it essentially hurts whoever wins it. Because look at everything post Wade Barrett. Everybody who's won King of the Ring afterwards is
Woods.
A, forgettable, and B, a freaking joke. Look at Corbin, for God's sake.
Well, I mean, think of it like this too: is like, Brock won it. So Paul says Brock won King of the Ring. Yeah, you're right, but he won it in the early 2000s. My thing is like my thing with King of the Ring is there has been only a handful of people. Oh, he said you got to book it correct. Yep, absolutely.
Sure.
I mean, everything comes down to booking and execution. But there's only been a handful of King of the Ring winners that it absolutely benefited. Austin, Brett, Shawn. It didn't Brett. Yeah, Owen. It didn't benefit British Bulldog.
Mr.
And then Billy Gunn. It didn't benefit him whatsoever because he never got a shot at the fucking.
But my name is Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Right? He never got a shot at the world title. Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
God.
So Will says the last few King of the Rings have been junk. Yeah, it hasn't done
Exactly
anything
why I
for
don't think
anybody.
they should do it anymore.
I mean, if they're trying to bring back things and make them a little bit more relevant, yes, I think that they should. I think that they absolutely should, but I think that they should make the King of the Ring unpredictable, right? Um, and so yeah, I mean, yeah, when Austin won it, it benefited him. Yeah, that
But
and
Yeah,
also
of
look at the
course,
time
100%.
differences.
He's
mm,
a big example. Yeah,
that was the birth of Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Right.
yeah.
or he wins Money in the Bank. Yeah, I mean, he could win Money in the Bank if you put him in Money in the Bank.
Who?
Gunther,
Gunther?
Which, by the
yeah.
way, I'm actually going there live in Toronto
Ooh,
at Money in the
Oh
Bank.
yeah.
nice,
Actually, yeah,
nice.
I'm actually going to all 3 shows. Actually, I got a ticket package, so I'm looking
All
forward
right,
to it.
so let's jump off the Gunther
Yeah,
train.
yeah.
We've been on
Yeah,
it from a hot minute. All right, the next is Awesome Truth versus Indus Sheer. Uh, anybody who didn't think that the Awesome Truth was going to win, I don't know. I have a feeling they're going to win the match. The
I
whole
hope not.
fucking.
I hope
I
not.
hope not either. But I have a
Jesus
feeling.
Christ, please
that would
don't
be
go
so
backwards.
stupid. Yeah, I don't want them to win like in a stupid way, where it's like Truth accidentally, gets the belts or something. I don't know,
Yeah,
something along those lines. But
yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, good
But
for Truth. I mean, I am kind of worried about Truth because he just is coming back from a knee injury from that dive he did back in NXT. So I'm
yeah,
kind of nervous about him being in a ladder match.
yeah.
He's over 50 as well, so it's like that's the crazy part. But I mean, good for Truth and Miz getting a WrestleMania match. Sure, that's
I'm
fine.
kind of at the point with Miz where I feel like he's literally done everything there is to do. That I don't need to see him do more.
No, no. I mean, he's Miz is I mean, no pun intended. Miz is awesome,
He is.
but I think like he should move on to bigger and better things that doesn't involve wrestling. So Paul says they gave the tag team titles to a fifth
To a
grader.
fifth
Point.
grade.
It's okay for
Well, look who
truth
booked
to
it.
win.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Look who
Vince.
booked it.
Vince.
It was a referee's son. I mean, Vince
Yeah,
McMahon
Right.
is Vince
fucking
McMahon.
Christ sake.
I miss Strowman.
Right. I mean, he may be back soon. I think he had a neck fusion surgery and he's healed up pretty
Yeah,
well.
I know. It's gonna take time for him, of course.
Yeah. So next we've got Seth and Drew promo. Drew came out and Seth fucking interrupted his entrance, which was great. I loved it.
Yeah, that was
Walked
great.
right past him. Dude didn't even recognize him, just walked right past him. Luke says, any word on Strowman coming back? Not sure.
So,
I saw he was
next
working
surgery.
out again, but he's
Yeah.
probably not going to come back till the Rumble.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's next. It's next surgery. It's gonna take him a long time to get back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, look at Big E. I don't even know if Big E's coming back.
He's
Anyways,
probably not here.
yeah, yeah. Anyways, that there was no hands to be thrown
that's
in the
right.
Drew and Seth, which is great. Didn't need to have any of that, and it's still keeping the fucking tension high going. Anyways, next we got New Day versus Alpha Academy. Really good match.
Yeah,
Really
pretty
good,
solid.
solid match.
Love
Solid
Otis.
match.
Love Tozawa. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Paul says Drew has been amazing as his troll heel. Yeah. His Twitter account is hilarious. Yeah.
Did
He's
you
great.
see? Did you see what he recently just posted?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So he grabbed a screen cap of a scene from the movie Straight Outta Compton where the Bloods and the Crips had their bandanas tied together.
Yeah.
And he was quote tweeting an interview about Roman Reigns mocking CM Punk. And he's like, "Oh, we're gonna join forces now." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, the New Day and Alpha Academy match was great. I didn't think that it was going to be as good as it was. I mean, obviously because they're playing, funny games with Akira Tozawa, but Akira showed the fuck out. New Day picked up the win. They're in the tag team ladder match.
Yeah.
And we have the main event. Last woman standing, Becky Lynch and Nia Jax.
So good.
Yeah,
Oh my
dude.
God.
And I say this, and if you're not a regular on the show, if you don't, watch it as often as we put out, Chris and I'm pretty sure JR has said Nia Jax's return has done wonders for her. It has elevated not just her, but it's elevated the women's division, right? It's
Yes.
made women push themselves to be better, right?
Even
Rhea, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And just this Becky Lynch arc, right? Like normally I'd be like, I don't want to see fucking Nia again against Becky, but I'm like, dude, when's the next match? What are they doing?
That's how you build a feud, though. You know, they've
Yeah,
had that
exactly.
bad blood since 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so solid match. So Luke says Nia's been destroying everyone. Yes, she has. And Paul says Ripley can't lose at Mania. She's so fucking over.
I
It's
agree.
ridiculous.
She
Yeah.
needs to retain 100%.
Yep. Give her that year run. I don't think she needs to lose at Mania. But I think what they're doing now is fantastic with Nia and Becky. Dude, just overall, I'm really pleased. I just hope Nia does not interrupt the match at Mania. That's
I
all
don't
I'm
think
asking.
she will. I think she's
No,
done.
you leave. No, I think they're okay. You leave Becky and Rhea as expected, one on one. They have to be one on one.
But JR, they're gonna put Liv in the match. Oh my god!
They're
Yeah.
stupid idiots.
Becky picked up the win,
Yep.
and so she won the last woman's standing match. Raw overall was phenomenal.
Very good.
No,
Very good.
no
show.
pun intended.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yes.
When was the last time we saw a last man standing match on a freaking Raw?
That
It's been a while.
pandemic.
The
Pandemic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Luke says, I'm a huge fan of Rhea. She is in beast mode. Absolutely. She has elevated the women's division herself. Yes, she has.
100%. 100%. Yes.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to say this about that last comment. I'm kind of like torn on saying she has and hasn't. And maybe it's just because like I feel she's been doing more Judgment Day stuff than she has been women's division stuff.
Sure.
Not to say that she hasn't elevated anybody, but out of every match of hers that she's had, that she's defended the title, the only one I genuinely remember is her and Nia, and then her and Liv. That's it. I don't remember anybody else. Oh, and Charlotte, but that wasn't a defense.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to say that I remember her Fatal Five or the Fatal 5-Way match.
I forgot about that.
Crown Jewel. Yeah.
That was a good fucking match.
Yeah,
she did that. She did that super Riptide. Those are fucking stuff. And I think this is the pay-per-view where she pulls it out again. Chris and I were talking about that. You don't pull that super Riptide off. I think that WrestleMania is a moment you do.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, Raw was phenomenal. We're gonna move on. JR and Chris, you guys are both your NXT aficionados, so I'm gonna let you guys talk about NXT. I'm gonna go grab a bottle of water and spit it out like Triple fucking H, like Daddy Hunter.
Very good. Very good.
So NXT started off with Roxanne and Tatum Paxley, respectively.
Cake.
I thought it was a pretty solid match. Tatum's been showing out a lot, and I really have been enjoying her getting more TV time.
That's right. Yeah.
Lyra came out and told Ava to give Roxanne that match after they brawled post-match. I think Roxanne and Lyra will be something special.
Of course.
I just hope that Roxanne doesn't go over. Because
you don't think she would think she's gonna win? You don't think it's not the best idea?
See, I don't know. I'm torn on it because it's like I want Lyra to have a healthy title run, but Stand and Deliver being WrestleMania weekend, it's like a heel Roxanne as a champion would not be a bad thing either. Now I just wonder how Tatum fits into that whole equation.
We'll find out. At least we won't have to worry about an interference on Latina. I'm not even gonna go on that.
Oh my god!
Sorry. Okay. All right.
Oh, bro, she had that match in Level Up, I think, the week before, and she said it in more aggressive tone. I'm like, bro, just stop, for God's sake. Lola Vice is atrocious.
Yeah,
I have never been so steadily disappointed in somebody so much until she came around.
Yeah.
And I think ever since Elektra just kind of put her ass in check, I'm not feeling that at all, dog.
She's someone who needs like a Robert Stone or something.
For real.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
My ass anytime. I mean,
you're not wrong, bro.
Fine.
But
yeah.
Right. She's atrocious.
Oba, Josh and Dijak.
Yeah.
In the next segment.
It was a pretty solid segment.
Yeah, it was very solid, and it seems like it's going to be a triple threat with those two,
Yeah.
especially with the matches that have been built for next week or this upcoming week. Which I know you were surprised when I mentioned one of those matches. Oh man, but yeah, they
I'm a little
basically it's
confused with
gonna.
the Josh Briggs hate.
There's a Josh Briggs hates. I like him. He reminds me of
Like,
Bradshaw a bit.
like you remember when he was cutting that segment or cutting that promo, and those fans were just all over him for it, and I don't understand why. It's just Orlando being Orlando. Like I genuinely cannot stand them during promo segments.
Yeah.
Exactly. Josh Briggs, I mean not Josh, Oba held his own in that segment. I was actually kind of happily surprised.
Yeah.
It's very Oba's great, but Dijak, man.
Oh man, he's on another level right now. He's unbelievable.
Dijak is in the stratosphere.
Did you know? You know, I'm white.
I'm surprised he said that on TV. I'm like, bro, wild. What are you doing?
Oh my god. Dijak's been on another level. Twitter, on everything. He's just that guy wants to, get to that next level. I like it. I like it.
Do you think he should beat Oba, or do you think he should go for Ilya?
I want him going for the actual title, to be honest with you. I don't see it doesn't look like Tony's probably going to retain. Well, we'll get to that after, but
Yeah,
I don't see Tony winning over Ilya because
No
if
way.
you're pushing Dijak that much, yeah, he's going to be at that point where he's going to go for Ilya because he's the only person that Ilya has lost to, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
In recent memory, so it's I don't know about the triple threat's going to be interesting with those three. Which we don't know if it's official, but I mean it's the way it's going.
There's also another name that's kind of
Yeah.
forcing himself into a title scene, and that's Sean Spears.
Yeah,
because remember Sean was watching that on TV.
He was, yeah.
And Joe Gacy kind of had a little spot with Sean Spears, so
he did.
I'm invested in Sean. Sean is great.
Yeah. Let's just say this right now. His reappearance was a surprise to a lot of people. Nobody expected him coming back here, but the way they've been presenting him so far, like I told you, he's like an American Psycho almost thing, like the movie character almost sort of. Well, with the wording and all that. Bravo. I mean, good on him.
I've never watched his AEW stuff to know anything really more. If he's done anything noteworthy in AEW, I don't think he has.
No, he didn't.
The only thing that I remember him doing is giving Cody that nasty chair shot, but that's it.
Nasty chair shot. Yeah, that's it. No, he didn't really do too much.
I mean, then we had we had that second match, Nathan Frazier and Axiom against the No Quarter Catch crew. Charlie Dempsey and I believe it was
Miles Warren.
Miles has come a long way.
Woo.
Really fast. But man, Dempsey is disgusting in that ring. He's probably one of my favorite wrestlers in that whole division.
He's got a good teacher.
He really does. He really does. And then we had Axiom and Nathan Frazier won. Then we had another respectfully match. Sol Ruka against Brindley Reese, Team B.
Team B. I can't say that. Inside joke, folks. Inside joke.
Sol Ruka and that Soul Snatcher, bro.
Oh my god!
Every setup gets better and better.
Very good.
I think she might have the best finisher.
It's one of the best. Yes.
Next to Axiom, because I love that golden ratio.
Oh, golden ratio! You know I'm a big Axiom fan, especially his promos have been outstanding.
I love it when he's talking through his mask. He's like, "Yeah, I did. I winked." And he said,
Or I remember that segment with Dominic speaking to him, and he thought he was Dragon Lee, and he goes, "You got to be kidding me! I was Dragon Lee." It's like, oh my god!
Didn't he call him a Power Ranger?
Rhea called him a Power
Ranger. Rhea called him Power Ranger, right?
That's great. But yeah, Sol Ruka with the pinfall, Soul Snatcher. Yep, absolutely. Great.
Then we had a Tony D segment with Ilya Dragunov. It kind of seemed like they're letting Tony D talk a lot more over Ilya, which I was kind of surprised. Seems like they're giving Tony the edge here, which really threw me off for a whirl.
Yeah, that was weird. That segment there.
But giving Channing Stacks a match against Ilya next week is going to be crazy. I think that boy's going to be murdered.
He's gonna be. Yeah. We almost forgot. We almost forgot. Speaking of Stacks, we had a segment as well. Gigi Dolan talking to Ren Sinclair in the locker room,
Right.
and then talking about what happened last week with Miss Channing Stacks, aka Ariana Grace, who then brought over a Miss NXT in training sash for Gigi Dolan and took a before picture, saying, "Okay, this is my project. Here we go." Oh man, Ariana Grace, great character work.
I think we're gonna get some great segments like we did with Fallon Henley and Tiffany.
And Tiffany. Oh, absolutely.
It's gonna be special.
Great. Yeah.
Then we had the fourth match, Drew Gulak against Riley Osborne, which, man, I'm a really big Heritage Cup fan.
Yeah.
I know at first it kind of came on TV a little weird because the intervals between matches, but I think HBK has harnessed that gimmick match and it has gotten 100 times better than when it debuted. Drew Gulak still proves that man is one of the best in that ring. He's incredible.
Solid. Absolutely solid. Love his theme music as well. One of my I keep that on repeat now. So it's so good.
And Riley's no slouch either, man. Riley's pretty damn good.
He's been good, man. Yeah. Very, very big. He's turned out really well against a very good vet in Drew Gulak, you know? Yeah, and I'm actually quite happy he wasn't cut, like, you know, those recent cuts and all that. I like the fact that they rely on him to be that voice in NXT, like, you know, for the, you know, Damon Camp for Charlie and all that such. I'm really happy that WWE kept him along the way. He's like one of the remaining 205 guys remaining, along with Akira, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
And Noam Dar.
And Noam Dar, yes, that's right. Oh yes, Supernova, yes. Yes. Yeah.
And my favorite thing about HBK's booking is how he incorporates other storylines into other storylines. That Thea and JC Jane little ending for Riley Osborne and Drew Gulak was just so perfect. I think we're going to get Thea versus JC at Stand and Deliver. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, maybe I don't think maybe in the main card, maybe that's probably going to be like the pre-show. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, that makes much sense. Yeah.
Then we got the Trash Brothers against Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. It was an okay match. I don't care about the Good Brothers enough to really give them anything.
No, but it was a good brawling match. Yeah, those Hank and Tank are, you know, pretty solid.
Yeah,
you know, there's still a long way to go, but you know, it was a good brawling match. You know, I know you have your feelings about the Good Brothers, but I mean, in terms of the product, that was pretty dang good. Hard.
It's pretty solid.
No problem. Yeah.
And then we had Trick Williams against Noam Dar.
Oh yes.
And man, I've been saying this since his whole rebranding of NXT. Noam Dar is one of the best hands in that entire roster. He is so good and so precise with everything he does. In my opinion, I wouldn't mind seeing him win a North American title because he's pretty damn good.
They got him off the Heritage Cup, so obviously he wants to go for bigger things. So that's you could do the Weasel way, like taking the title off Oba. You never know. So
I mean, shit. If they decide to give it to Dijak, he could beat Dijak.
Yeah, Weasel his way. Yeah, absolutely.
I still think Metaphor is one of the best things that he's ever brought into that main roster. So, of course, Trick Williams won that match, followed by Carmelo Hayes coming out with his security guards. Well, long and behold, he was one of the security guys and beat down Trick. So it was a great show. In my opinion, NXT is the best show of the entire week, bar none.
Yeah, it's been good.
Sean, I don't know if you're back or not, but yeah, man, NXT was great.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I seen you guys talking about it. My sister just walked in. She's right here.
Nice.
She's coming to pick up her stepdaughter. My sister.
Hello.
You can't tell she's my sister.
I'm the pretty one.
I'm the piece of shit. Anyways, yeah, dude, I heard that. I heard you guys talking about NXT. I was sitting right here and listening to it. Does sound awesome. Does sound like a good show. Chris, you said it was the best product of the week.
It's the most consistent out of all three shows, bar none.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to SmackDown. Woo! SmackDown was loaded. I didn't think we were gonna open up with this match, but we got Rey Mysterio and Santos, right?
Yeah.
Another great showing.
Yeah.
Really, really entertaining match. The match finished because
surprise. I was actually surprised, to be honest. Yeah.
I did not see this shit coming.
Yeah.
So fucking Ray set Santos up for 619. Somebody jumped out of the crowd with a Rey Mysterio mask, grabbed his legs. Mm-hmm. Santos hit the Phantom Driver. 1, 2, 3. Pulled it off. It was Dom.
I can't believe it.
Dirty Dom, bro.
Are we getting a rematch from WrestleMania?
I hope so.
I fucking hope so too.
That would be great. Yeah.
Ray's retirement match.
Yes. It has to be Ray.
It has to be Ray this time. You gave him the win because of the Hall of Fame, which is no problem. But now you gotta have, if this is what they're going with, you gotta have Dom beat him, and I mean beat
dominant fashion too.
Yes, absolutely. It has to be a beatdown, dude. Like it cannot be a match. It has to be a beatdown.
Go for the knee. You know that knee. Ray's had that. He's had surgeries. Go for the one. The one injury he's had all the
in my left knee.
That's well, yeah. Well, I've been in prison for 3 months.
I had surgery to my right knee. Yeah, I was in prison for 3 hours. I had a hard time. I honestly think that it should. I think that it should be career versus hair match.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I can see that. I'd be okay with that.
Career versus hair. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Luke says, it needs to be a beatdown.
Absolutely, because
This is the best Dom has ever been in the ring.
That was a legit surprise when that happened, and I'm like, okay, you want to put Ray and Dom there? Go ahead. That's great. Right.
Now, do you have Dom beat his ass all the way down to the ring?
Yes.
And then throw him in the ring, and then stand him up in the corner, have the ref start the bell, and then oh, definitely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Or at least, put them in the ring, but then when the bell rings, you have Dom just go freaking pow, pow, pow,
Plot twist. On him. Judgment Day beats the ever living shit out of him before the match. It feeds him to Dom. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Squash match retirement.
Yeah, squash match retirement.
Book it, Triple H.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Luke says, I honestly like Dom. I do too, man. I
love Dom. We all
10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
I'm fully sports entertained when it comes to Dom.
I'm a dominator.
I'm a dominator. Yeah. But anyways, so next we had Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Dude, so I didn't know that this was a match. I don't know why I didn't know this was a match, but when Austin Theory came out, I was like, they gave him new music, but they didn't. It was Grayson Waller and Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Versus the Good Brothers. Really great match.
Yep.
Really good match.
Can we just get rid of the Good Brothers, for God's sake?
He doesn't like them, obviously. Yeah.
You don't like them?
For a valid reason. For a valid reason.
And why is that?
That's fair. Which is fair.
Do you want me to give you my actual reason?
Sure.
Okay. So you remember when that what was her name? JR?
Nakamura. I think Nakamura? Yeah.
When she took her life before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And WWE touted that, there's gonna be mental health resources and everything, and speak out if you need help. Well, Carl decided to show his ass and say, oh, who cares? They're still trash.
Wow.
On the day that she took her life.
Wow.
He made it about him because he got released and lost his job.
Jesus.
Anything bad that happens to Carl Anderson, even if it's an injury, I will throw a block party for it because he is a piece of trash.
I think what they're doing while they're keeping them around is because they're bringing, from my understanding, they're bringing
in
Tomatonga.
weddings.
They're bringing in Tomatonga, and then potentially a reunion of the fucking club. Who knows? I'm on the fence about it, but either way, really solid match.
Yep.
The Good Brothers, they showed why they're a solid tag team work, but Austin Theory and Grayson Waller picked up the win. Luke says, I hate Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. They're doing their jobs then.
That's
Just to
yeah,
say that
exactly.
They're doing their job.
They're doing their jobs and they're doing it
Two
flawless.
Two big douchebags. That's all you got. That's the best character ever.
Right? Luke says, I'm out, guys. Great
Yeah,
show. I'll start watching you more. When are you guys doing this again? So we should be doing it next weekend. And we're not doing a WrestleMania weekend because I'm gonna be in Philly for WrestleMania.
Yep.
But we will
Are you
come
going to
back.
Mania World?
Yes, I'm going on
Nice.
Sunday though. I'll probably stream it live.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really fucking excited. The only thing is a little side break from SmackDown. Chris says, "Well," or Paul says, "Well, I like turtles. I like turtles." And he says, "See you then, you lucky bastard." Hey man, I got night 1 tickets from my girlfriend for Valentine's Day, and I bought night 2 tickets.
Oh, that's sweet.
But anyways, this WrestleMania is one of my bucket list things. So Chris already has his bucket list thing, so I got to get my bucket list thing. So yeah, what they're doing with WWE World, which I you got to pay attention, is fucking. They're doing the regular entrance fee, $60 for adults, 25 for kids. And then if you like, they're going to have meet and greets with certain superstars, lower mid card superstars, but the bigger guys. So like they've already got Cody, Seth, all of them, everybody that Cody's named on any of the fucking commercials. You gotta pay for, and it's like $200 per person. And I'm like, yeah, if I wanted to meet him, I'd find him. Paul says, marry her. Homie, I'm on my third divorce. I'm 3-time divorce champion of the world, homie. I got to make better life choices. Joking. Joey says, all I care about when it comes to tag team matches at Mania is that they split the damn tag titles. I agree.
Hard disagree.
They've been talking about this for years.
There's not a strong enough tag division for a split tag team.
Paul says, okay, Ross. So anyways, yeah, I'm really excited about WrestleMania weekend, man. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Next we had Naomi versus Io Sky, dude.
Good stuff.
They showed out.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Naomi's fucking solid. If you didn't watch her in Impact, this is what you're getting with Impact.
Yeah, this was good stuff. Really good stuff.
Solid work. She improved her game a lot. Then we see
Impact. Do you think they're ever gonna bring in Jordan Grace
to WWE?
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I don't know.
She has an end. She has an end with Naomi, and I'm pretty sure Triple H has been watching.
Yeah, and then she did say it won't be the last of you'll see of her in the WWE. So maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe there's some sort of partnership, possibly.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So with the Io Sky match and Naomi, Io picks up the win. I feel is the right call.
Of course.
We seen during the match, Bayley was getting her ass beat, or before the bell rang. Bayley's just getting her ass beat by Io Sky.
While her music was playing, I was like,
while her music is playing, you just see her just beating that ass.
Yeah. Oh man,
that was entertaining. I didn't expect that. but Io Sky picked up the win, rightfully so. You don't have your champion lose 2 weeks before WrestleMania.
Right.
Unless you're in AEW.
Yeah, unless you're in AEW. Anyways, then after the match, we seen Bianca Belair come out to try and save Naomi, to no avail. We got a little video package. Jade's officially signed with SmackDown, and she'll be making
Rightfully.
her debut next week.
The right.
I don't know.
brand.
I don't know if it's a debut or if she's just gonna show up.
I think she's just going to show up.
Show up, and then there's gonna be some tension with some of the women there. So yeah.
Rightfully so.
Can I just
That's
get a face-to-face with her and Tiffany Stratton? Please, 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 please.
Of Jade and
Or
Tiffany.
Bianca.
I will shit bricks.
Woo, woo. Oh.
Now, do you hot shot her to Bianca?
No.
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 Or do you
Let
have her?
Let her showcase first.
Mm.
Yes, yeah.
Feed her Dakota Kai.
Oh yeah. Or Dakota Kai, yeah.
Or one of the fucking Katana. Oh, wait. Are they on Raw?
Yeah.
or Rock. Feed her one of Alba or
Oh, yeah,
Isla.
yeah. Alba or fucking Isla, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she could have a good she could have a good match with Alba. Yeah, Alba's a good.
Okay, so Paul says she hasn't even wrestled yet, really, and already is booked better than she did in AEW. Yes.
100%.
Wait, so you mean to tell me that a 60-win streak doesn't mean anything?
And she's getting the best trainers in there, man.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, she looks a million times better. She's presented better, right?
She looks happy.
She was in the ring for I don't know how long in the Rumble, and she made more of an impact in that time than she did in AEW.
Facts.
She did.
Zero means zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
I guess you
Goldberg.
could say in her Rumble appearance she was dynamite.
She went on a rampage.
That's right. Yes. That's right.
She had many collisions.
Yeah.
She was all in the ring.
The collision.
Yeah.
She was all in the ring.
She was all in just to show all out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They jobbed her out to Statlander, and she lost that title. 2 weeks later? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they didn't show her again until like 3 months later.
Right.
That's right.
Next, we had the Street Profits versus Authors of Pain. Street Profits got their "We Want the Smoke" music back.
Yeah, they did.
Really good match.
Yeah, let me talk about the that one part with the AOP. Oh my god, that power bomb on the outside. He threw him to the other prophet. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
dude.
Somebody
I love
pointed this
AOP,
out.
man.
Somebody pointed this out about Montez Ford that I actually agreed with, and I usually don't agree with a lot of criticism just because of how asinine the IWC is. But somebody said Montez Ford has yet to figure out what to do on camera, that he just doesn't have an identity. I'm like, if you think about it, that's a pretty fair criticism considering he acts a fool every time he's on camera. And there's nothing wrong with having a great time and all that stuff. Yep. But like, we were building up to this heel shit before Cross came back around. And he was still doing his babyface antics. And Bobby won't get booed. So they had to force them to go babyface again.
Backface again, yeah.
And I just feel the only person in that group for me that stands out is Dawkins, because Dawkins has a cool head. Dawkins can play the part.
Hey, shout out to Dawkins getting the win for his mom, who recently passed away. Yeah, that's good. I was really happy for him. Yeah.
Speaking of, okay, go ahead, finish, Chris, and then I'll do.
No, you're good. I was just saying, I just feel like Montez is missing a really big part of like being a superstar.
He needs his identity.
Yeah.
Can somebody explain how Paul Ellering is still alive?
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
Hey, he was over 70. He still looks pretty good to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's not AEW where you have 85-year-olds going through thumbtacks at tables. A retirement match.
Oh my god.
Okay, and the final segment was 25 minutes long. It was the face-to-face with Cody and Roman. Cody didn't say much. Roman spoke a lot. But what Cody did say was very impactful. Cody pretty much was like, "Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen night 1, but night 2, I'm going to be the one." Right? And that promo compared to last year, where he was like, "I don't know, I have to finish story, blah 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 blah." And now he's like, "I'm fucking going to beat you." Right? Like it doesn't matter. I'm going to beat you. And so that makes me feel like he has ace up the sleeve. Now, when he said that, he put his hand out, said, "Good luck at WrestleMania." Roman said, "I don't respect you. I only shake the hands of people I respect." Turned around, shook Paul Heyman's hand, walked out the ring. That's how it should go. And then the bloodline came. Jimmy and Solo came from the crowd, surrounded the ring, met Roman on the ramp, and Cody was in the middle of the ring. And I was like, dude, they're about to beat the dog shit out of Cody. Right? Cody took his jacket off. And then you seen Jay in the crowd, and you seen Seth. Now, dude, Seth, look, man, I loved that outfit Seth was wearing last night. That all red leather suit, dude.
Yep.
I want one. Give it to me now. Give me what I want. But it was a great showdown. This lead up to Mania is like insane. So whatever is going to happen on Raw next week.
Ooh.
I want to add this. I wish that they would have had Drew kick Seth's head off to end that whole thing, to add more to that segment, because there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, that ending fell flat." I don't think it fell flat at all.
No, not at all.
But I think for the fact that Drew has been on fire on Twitter, and we've all acknowledged that. But his promo this past Monday was abysmal. William Wallace could have cut a better promo, and he's dead. But I just, I don't know, man. I'm not sold on Drew. I still something about this whole thing with Drew, and I don't care. Still,
I honestly I want to see Drew win at Mania, but I even more want to see Damian Priest cash in at Mania, or cash in night after Raw, or night after Mania. Right.
So, do you think he loses the tag titles and then he cashes in, much like Miz lost the United States title and cashed in?
It seems like they're going to lose their tag titles at the ladder match. It just depends. It's like I don't know who's going to win that ladder match. You could go
anybody but Awesome Truth, man.
Yeah, anyone but Awesome Truth. Sure, okay, we'll go with that.
Christ, anybody but them.
I mean, to be honest, if Awesome Truth won, I wouldn't be upset about it. I
just don't really care for comedy gimmicks, man.
Very true.
It's like putting Orange Cassidy as the AEW World Champion.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Truth, because Truth is great, but come on.
No, Truth's amazing. Truth's amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that they dropped the tag titles, and either he cashes in on Seth. I can't see him cashing in on Cody. I mean, I can see him cashing in on Cody, but
no, you can't do that. I don't.
I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you.
Yeah.
If two scenarios happen, if Cody gets cashed in on or Roman retains, I will be done with the main roster.
Dude, I think Philly will riot. Like
they riot even when things go right there.
Okay, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but I think they will riot even more. I think that there will be. I don't think Triple H wants the fans to go home empty-handed.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, or pissed off.
Yeah.
So I think he wants to give the fans something that they're going to remember, and I think it's going to be a solid show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They booed Santa. Yeah, they did.
Santa's a fraud.
Man, Santa's whatever.
But this year's WrestleMania could shape up to be one of the fucking best WrestleManias, or one of the worst WrestleManias.
So I have a question about the Seth Rollins thing. Where do you put his title match on the card?
They already said it's a co-main event of night 2.
Jesus Christ, why?
They
They're
said it's
gonna
gonna be.
probably put him second last, maybe.
Yep, they'll put it
Oh.
second to last.
Oh boy.
They'll put it second to last. I think that both women's, and if they're doing that, then both women's title matches need to be night 1.
I don't know. I was thinking.
But who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? They've been throwing that word main event out there, and it's been fucking.
Yeah. I mean, I could see Io and Bailey being second to last, like Charlotte and Rhea were to the tag title match on night 1. Yeah, that's the thing. Because I'm looking at all these matches right now. We're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, yeah, 10 right now with potentially a couple more, like Dom and Ray, as we just mentioned, and then the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Although I don't think they're going to put it for. They might put it for SmackDown possibly, but yeah,
I was
like,
gonna say they did that last year, didn't they?
yeah, they did it on SmackDown. Yeah, they did it on SmackDown, the Memorial Battle Royal. Like, I'm looking at these matches, like, we know what's going to be in the main event. We know possibly Jimmy and Jay are probably going to open the show one of the 2 nights, like Brett and Owen did back in WrestleMania 10. It's like you have all these other matches. I mean, we didn't even talk about AJ and on LA Knight. That segment there on SmackDown.
That was good.
I didn't see enough people talking about it, man. That's kind of disappointing.
I was freaking straight to the point. Yeah. It's like LA Knight's like, you're not going to come here. I'm going to you. And then I'm like, I love that. He's like, on site. Yeah.
I kind of, and this is me kind of hoping. I was wishing that it was like a home invasion angle, like Triple H and Randy.
And it was. It technically was. And we got to see Samoa Joe's favorite woman.
Wendy.
Great.
Wendy.
Yeah. She does look. Yeah, she does look like she looks good. Yeah, absolutely.
What the fuck are you doing? Get out of here!
Like,
it's not very Christian of you, Wendy.
You have like Logan versus Owens and Orton. We have that.
Dude, neither one of them were on the show.
I could see. Yeah, I could see
next week. No, they weren't. They appeared on SmackDown.
Orton and Owens were.
Right, yeah.
Remember they had the backstage segment with Pretty Deadly? I'm guessing Logan interferes and Pretty Deadly gets a victory over the 2.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yeah. Cuts the tension between the 2.
Or he finally gets RKO'd.
So too. Yeah.
But Paul asked if Seth loses, does he screw Cody?
Oh, no. Don't say that. I will cry.
I hope not. I hope not. I and I'm gonna say this here. I'm gonna say this now. I'm a huge fan of Roman. I've grown into a fan of Roman's work. Just solid, but I think they need to stick it to the bloodline. Like
it's time. And it's so overdue.
This is
yeah. I think it needs to get stuck to the bloodline. I think if it's bloodline rules, right? Like there needs to be some interference, but not on Cody's part. I think Cody is going to be that dude that defends himself against the whole bloodline. Maybe have Jay Russian, but that's about it.
Okay.
But like I think that it just needs to be at the end of the match, all of the bloodline in the ring laying down and Cody standing over top of the bodies.
I just thought of something.
Homelander Cody.
So obviously you guys remember when Crispin Family Murder and Eddie Guerrero closed out the show hugging.
Chris Benoit?
No, Crispin Family.
Oh, you mean Eddie hugging himself
exactly
at the end with the confetti?
What if they recreate that moment with Drew and Cody?
Ooh.
Drew helps Cody win.
Why would Drew help Cody win? Oh, the blood. Oh, because he still has the Perfect. Oh my goodness,
bro! I'm telling you,
out of nowhere, like it would be out of nowhere. No,
it would be unexpected, and people would go ape shit for it.
Drew still has that ultimate hatred for the bloodline, even through Jay, because of Jay, exactly.
Dude, look at it like this, man. Like you could have Roman and Roman and Cody down on the mat. Drew gets in the corner and he's just staring at Cody.
Yeah.
But
Just
then he goes to
staring.
Roman.
But and both of the men get up at the same time and he fucking kicks Roman square in the face.
Just like Clash of Champions. Bro, I'm telling you.
That is, oh my God. If that happens, oh my God. Woo.
Just imagine the pop that will get.
Yeah.
Or what if this whole beef with Cody and The Rock was just to get Roman, right?
Yeah.
Like Cody, no.
Yeah,
Hear me out.
Okay.
What if this whole thing was orchestrated and this was meant to happen, right? Like The Rock inserts himself in a match
Yeah.
against Roman.
Yeah.
Cody says, "No, it's my fucking spot." Everybody's wanted Cody to finish the story against Roman because that's the story. It's not about the title, it's about beating Roman, right? And then him and The Rock have a thing to keep eyes off of Roman, make Roman look like second fiddle to Rock.
Mhm.
And then just like Clash of Champions, fucking Roman spears Cody. He's close to the ropes. 1, 2, ref gets pulled out. It's Rock.
It seems like it could be that. That could be the
But
solution.
I think
right?
I think that the Drew thing is a little bit more plausible and a little bit more believable.
That would be unexpected. I mean, yeah, but
I think if we're looking at story-wise, like take Rock out of the equation for a second. I think story-wise, the Drew angle, I think would be better writing.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously fantasy booking here, but I think that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Because Drew and Cody have history outside of WWE too.
Yeah.
Remember, because they left around the same time.
That's
did.
right.
They did.
They did. Yeah.
I'm really excited, man. This year's dude. This is the year where I'm like, I cannot predict what's going to happen.
Unpredictable, bro. It's so
unpredictable.
Good.
Yeah.
Even last year was a bit unpredictable.
Kind
of. A couple things it was predictable, but for the most part, yeah, it was unpredictable for the most part.
This year's completely unpredictable.
When they had their main events last year, I said if the Usos lose, Roman is winning. Like there's no way they're gonna destroy the bloodline.
Yeah, that's exactly what my buddy told me. Like we saw a happy ending on night 1. You're gonna see a bad end. Well, not a bad ending, but you'll see Roman retain on night 2.
Right.
Yes.
So then,
I think that's what's gonna happen.
Is this the reverse?
Yes.
Yeah. So Cody's gonna. Yeah, it's Cody. They're gonna have Cody go against the odds in this case here. There's no doubt about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whew. Yeah, man, it's going to be an absolute wild show. I can't wait. I'm amped.
Bro, I can't wait for you to be in that atmosphere, man. Mania is like an experience of no other.
Yeah, I can only get so wrecked. Just saying.
There's a pill for
that. Yeah, there is. It's not blue. It's not Blue Chew. But anyways, before we go, JR, you got any final thoughts before we get going?
Ooh, we're down the home stretch, boys. We got 2 weeks left. A lot still needs to be developed because we still have both cards need to be finalized at this point. I mean, we know 10 matches already, and now we have added wrinkles to it. So it's like, oh man, plug yourselves in. And then Brooklyn on April 1st. I'm telling you, I would get extra security for that one because that's gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna be great. It's just getting better right now. So
absolutely. Chris, what you got for us? Final thoughts.
So April 1st is going to be one of the most impactful days in the wrestling community. Bray Wyatt's documentary is coming out.
Oh yes,
I think we all owe it to him and his family to make sure that as many people that support WWE and the product and him watch it, because
that's right.
You know, obviously the show is named after him, and so many of our demeanors are after him. Gone way too soon, and I think that documentary is a lot more important to me than Rock in Brooklyn, because Bray was special.
Yeah, absolutely. When I seen that came out when they started airing the advertisements for it, dude, my heart sunk.
Bro,
Right?
the first one, I was like, okay, I didn't know what to expect. And then the second one came out with Bo, and I lost it. I'm like, bro,
Oh my god!
Yeah.
this is.
And it seems like they always tribute to him now, even with the main event now, because it's like
Yeah.
you see they turn the lights down,
Yeah.
you see all the fireflies, you know
Yeah.
that the crowd misses him so much. We all miss him. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's April. That's gonna be a very. I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait for that documentary.
I'm genuinely so happy that they brought him and all his personalities back into 2K24.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I agree. I'm probably gonna cry. There's probably gonna be a few TikToks made off of it, and maybe some posts on Facebook and IG about it. I have, my tattoos. I dedicate, some of my tattoos to things that are important to me. Right, it's a life story. But I've got a CM Punk tattoo right here. I was gonna get it covered up. Yeah, yeah. I've got the Chicago flag with the best in the world. And I got that back in like right after the summer of Punk. And my second and only other wrestling tattoo is going to be the hurt and the heel.
Nice.
And I'm just waiting on my artist to finalize it. He's got to get some free time to come over and do it. But yeah, man, that Bray Wyatt is the reason why this show was created, not the reason we love professional wrestling, WWE, whatever. We love it. But the name was chosen. The backgrounds were chosen. If you can look and you can see the Fireflies, it was chosen. Behind the pictures you see on the screen, there's the Death Bat. I created a different version of the Death Moth. Sorry. And our intro video is very heavily inspired by Bray. Now, there's going to be a new intro video after Mania, not directly after Mania, but I've already talked with Chris over it, and it's going to be very heavy Bray. So just letting you guys know, it's going to be a very emotional ride the next few weeks to the next month for us. But we love this. We enjoy interacting with everybody. So Paul, Joey, Luke, thank you for commenting. Anybody who's watching this, thank you for commenting and interacting with us. We love the interaction. We love to see other people's perspectives and points of views. Especially all around the community, right? We shit talk about AEW, and
what's that?
Yeah. But everybody's welcome here. Everybody is welcome here, and we just enjoy the conversation. So, JR, I'm always grateful for you being here, man, and anybody who joins us in the conversation. Grateful for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy your week. I hope you enjoy your week in wrestling, and I hope that your week goes smoothly for you, and you guys can come back here and enjoy us and join in on the conversation. Paul says this was great. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
I appreciate it, Paul.
I've known Paul since high school. I've known Joey since high school. I've known Joey since high school. Luke was in the army with me. There's many other people. There's many other people around Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube that just enjoy wrestling. So this is a place where we can all come and we can talk about wrestling and not feel the need to be pressured by other people and their points of view. So especially toxic ass point of view. So thank you for being here. JR, thank you for being a guest again. I really enjoy you.
Of course. My pleasure.
Chris, as always, I'm grateful for you for being here, and always, Joey says, "Good show, guys. Thank you."
Thanks, Joey.
Thanks, Joey.
And until next time, be good and be kind to yourself. Much love.